Good evening to everybody from our hotel room in Tapachula, Mexico. Good evening to everybody. Let's wait for some people to join in so we can start. Let's see if we can get people right here on this live feed, so we can give you a small update of what is going on and what is happening with the migrant caravan and all the situations that is happening over here in Tapachula. That is just unbelievable what is happening over here. So I'll be waiting for people to jump in here. I'm using this new app. I don't know how it works, so I'm just trying. You know, we got the Border Network News logo and we got the Oscar blue logo on the top, right? So I'm using this new app and I believe that is a good app. So I'm beginning to see comments right here jumping in. How's everybody doing? I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News. God bless everybody that is watching. God bless our country of Mexico, our city of Tijuana, and God bless the United States of America. We are live, people. We are live from Tapachula, Mexico. This is our 6th time that we have visited the south border that connects to Guatemala. Sixth time, people. And today, the update, want to give you an update of what has been going on. On Saturday, the mother of all caravans was supposed to be leaving. They were speculating that this caravan was going to be between 1,500 and 2,000 people, and it was going to be more as it was going to be advancing to the north of Tapachula. As our colleagues and reporters from Tapachula and friends, they investigated the whole quantity of people that they were before, they realized that it was not that big, that this caravan was not that big, and that this caravan was going to be as the other past caravans that we've been covering. We covered 3 caravans in the time that we were here a few days ago. And we returned back not only to give an analysis and an update of this last caravan that it was done yesterday, but ultimately the other situations which they are happening in Tapachula, that they are aggravated situations. That is the priority. So sadly, yesterday our flight was canceled. I was supposed to leave at 1:11 in the morning on Saturday and arrived to Ciudad de Mexico at 7 and take a flight at 8 in the morning to Tapachula and ultimately land in Tapachula at 10 o'clock in the morning. After we waited over there at the airport, our flight got canceled, got rescheduled to leave Saturday night at 10:40 at night, and arriving at Ciudad de Mexico at 4 o'clock in the morning today. And we took an 8 o'clock in the morning the next flight to Tapachula, landed over here at 10 o'clock in the morning today. Really long, agitated, and exhausted flight to fly over here. It was canceled due to they were doing some maintenance in the it was in the scheduled maintenance that they're supposed to do at the airport in Tijuana, and ultimately had to do with some weather in the airport in Mexico, something like that. So we get here, and immediately we already have, and I will be making a small movie of the small caravan that it was disintegrated 2 days yesterday, that it was trying to advance outside. A lot of the people are giving really bad misinformation of what is happening over here. They're saying that the caravan is supposed to be arriving into Tijuana. That is a lie. They're saying that the caravans are moving outside of Tapachula. That is another lie. They're saying that these caravans are coming in from the south border of Guatemala and Honduras. That is another lie. These caravans, according to journalists from this area, and according to the Commission International of Human Rights from Tapachula, these caravans were formed right here in Tapachula with the people that they were already waiting for the process to leave. That there's more than 85,000 that they are registered in the COMAR, that is the Commission of Refugees. This information was being given by the head chief of the Commission of Refugees, that is the COMAR, and ultimately also other information outlets. Plus the 40,000, they are scattered all over the city of Tapachula. Caravans have been disintegrated by the Institute National of Immigration and also by the National Guard. According to information by Carlos Mejia and also other journalists, Juan Manuel Blanco, this operation that is existing right now has caused a lot of animosity and also has caused a lot of fear to the migrants. Supposedly, that is the number one purpose of the Institute National of Immigration and the National Guard, to send a strong message into the migrants that to not exit and to not move out of the city, and they have to stay. The abuse of force or the abuse of authority has been one of the things that has been harshly and hardly criticized into the National Guard of Mexico and also the Institute National of Immigration. Pictures have been going viral. We were there with one picture that went viral of an Institute National of Immigration officer stepping in the head of an immigrant. And also multiple violations in towards women and children. That is the most sad thing to see when they are children involved with this mass migration. That is the most heartbreaking thing to see, people. It's really heartbreaking to see that. Due to this factor, this last caravan, a lot of the Commission of International of Human Rights and the Commission of State of Human Rights and other people of organizations were on the road, giving them water, giving them food, and ultimately documenting that the migrants were not being separated from their families and not being hurt. The head chief of the Commission of Human Rights in our country of Mexico was here yesterday, as he was assuring that the national they were not separating families. That was the number one thing, that they were assuring that they were not separating families. After that, ultimately, a lot of this got, watered down into this last caravan, that it was the majority women and children. Apparently more than 100 unaccompanied minors that were in the caravan. A lot of women, single women and single men also, but a lot of children that they were walking with individuals that they were potentially not their fathers, and a lot of them that they were walking alone. This caravan landed in Huixtla, that is where another small caravan was waiting, the one that we documented before, that it got disintegrated. They were waiting, around 100 of them, at a basketball court that I recorded, and I don't know if you guys already seen that video, but it is in our playlist in YouTube. They arrived there in Huixtla, and today at 5 o'clock in the morning, the authorities of the National Guard and also Institute National of Immigration arrived to that place and did arrest on migrants. Out of 500 to 700 people, 140 of them were assured, and the other ones scattered all over the city of Huixtla, run away from the authorities and God knows where. They're supposed to be reuniting and regrouping tomorrow. We will know if the caravan will continue to regroup and move. And if they regroup and move, we will move forward with them and give you broadcasts of what is really happening with that small caravan. The border agents of Mexico have been overwhelmed. There's a lot of, a lot of the energy that has been given to the border agents, and a lot of power that they have given to the border agents, that they have been overwhelmed. They need backup. That's why the National Guard has been assisting them. But not only that, this gives you a perimeter, an idea that the National Guard has offered to the Institute National of Immigration to give them officers from the National Guard to be representing the Institute National of Immigration border agents. So by now, it is a fact, a lot of these officials that they are from the National Guard are not dressed up as National Guard officials anymore. They are dressed up as border agents, as the Institute National of Immigration officers requested more people to be in the organization of border agency of our country of Mexico. So you have a lot of National Guard officers. They are now dressed up as border agents. This the Institute National of Immigration, it is directed by an ex-military general of our country. This guy, arranges the things in a really aggressive way, and he is a really, predominant also. Predominantly, he's really not only aggressive in a way to arrange the things at a fast pace, but ultimately he is a man that he will obey by the law, and he will enforce the law if it is by force or by word, whichever of the two. This has trickled into a lot of human rights organizations to come in over here and ultimately documenting what the organization of the border agents is doing, if they're violating the humanitarian right, and also if the National Guard is violating the humanitarian right. And right now, as it is right now, they are the caravan that it was the mother of all caravans got disintegrated today at 5 o'clock in the morning, where an operation in Huixtla, that is around 50 minutes, good 50 minutes from the city of Tapachula, got disintegrated. Now, from Huixtla, they moved from Huehuetan, that is another municipal city, they moved to Huixtla, and from Huixtla, they moved to Madera Vieja. Madera Vieja is, I don't know if you guys remember, is where we were behind the humongous operation, walking in humidity and in the middle of the jungle when they were dropping the big pieces of trees in the middle of the road. That it was really dramatic pictures and video. We were ultimately right there, walking in that particular area. And they supposed to be regrouping in that area again. So the caravan is supposed to are going to be regrouping tomorrow, and the numbers are going to grow again. As this has happened before, the past days when I was here, we thought that it was decreased due to the strategy of the National Guard, picking them little by little, encapsulating them little by little. But unfortunately for the National Guard and the Institute National of Immigration, there's a lot of officers, there's a lot of migrants that they're scattered all over the way, that they are waiting slowly by slowly to wait for the caravan to regroup and ultimately to migrate in a regular way through roads and onboards and through other roads and mountains. Right now they're using the railroad to migrate. Then they're not using the main road, because if they use the main road, they will be captured, detained, and returned back. That is another thing that we are here to document. The number one thing that we are here to document, it is if they are returning them back into the country of Guatemala. And if they are returning them back into the country of Guatemala, what is the effect? Because there's no security from Mexico to allow them to not come in, as they already been deported. Why am I saying this? The river Suchiate is wide open, and water rafters are continuously working on bringing people from Guatemala all the way to ultimately the country of Mexico. So the deportation factor, it is not the solution, and it is not working. As the massive influx, it is a vicious cycle. You deport them, they will come back. You deport them, they will come back. We are here also to document the flights that they're coming in also from Texas, as information has been coming not only from the leader of the pro-migrant movement, Mr. Luis Villagran, that the Biden administration has been deporting unaccompanied minors into the part and into the city of Tapachula. This is an extremely precarious and delicate situation, as the Biden administration has been pretty friendly on opening up and saying that they are appalled into what the childs and the kids are going through, that they are not going to allow them to die in their countries, and they are going to be allowing them into our country of Mexico, which has created an enormous influx of unaccompanied minors coming into our borders of Mexico and ultimately going into the United States of America. Right now, the information that has been given, flights have been coming in late at night and late in the morning to Tapachula with deportees that they are non-Mexican. These deportees are Central American and ultimately from parts of Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. And you have unaccompanied minors in these flights that they're being flown by Harlingen, Texas, McAllen, Texas, and different parts of Texas into Tapachula. A lot of the people from Tapachula are upset that the National Guard and the Mexican taxpayers are paying for the transportation of these migrants that they have been deported from the United States into the border of Guatemala and being dropped off into the other side of the country with nobody to pick them up and nobody to tell them what they will do. We will be documenting this in the next incoming days. Also, tomorrow there's a protest, and they're going to continue to protest. The migrants from Haiti and their organizers are tired to stay right here in the city of Tapachula, and there's going to be multiple protests in multiple agencies that they are right here in the city of Tapachula, particularly in the Institute National of Immigration. They will be protesting, and these protests supposedly they are friendly, quote unquote, but they have turned into a little bit aggressive, and they're asking for an immediate solution to the visa transit to exit from here to Tapachula into outside of the state of Chiapas. And this is, inevitably another investigation that we are here to do. Is how our borders are still wide open and how caravans are being formed and transformed. Also, interviews with the leader of COMPARTE and ultimately leaders and district leaders from the part of Tapachula. We had a lot of work to do in the next incoming days. We took a little rest today as our flight was really exhausting and it got canceled, and now we are here. Fortunately, we can call it our second home now, that we have traveled 6 times, over here to the south border that connects to Guatemala. It is important that it's imperative that we give you guys the real information. There's a lot of misinformation which is the citizens from and the journalists from Tapachula, they are acknowledging that there's a lot of misinformation that is being given by leftist media, and also a lot of right-wing media. Also, there's given a lot of misinformation, which is saying, and they're exacerbating to the fact that they are implying that caravans are already going to be arriving to this amount of time and this amount of time into the borders of our country of Mexico to the north that connect to the United States. Complete oblivious lie. It is now more than obvious that caravans are being disintegrated. A lot of them, they're scattered. It's no massive caravan that is going to be arriving, possibly as they have been arriving, small amounts, 20, 30, 50 people arriving into the borders. But a caravan is not being allowed to be walking and to continue their journey in this massive amount in through the city of Tapachula, going through the station, the immigration, walking through the city of Tapachula, walking through the immigration station of Viva Mexico, from there to Huehuetan, from Huehuetan to Madera Vieja, from Madera Vieja to Huixtla to Mapastepec, that we have walked more than 30 to 40 kilometers, showing you guys the reality and the truth about what is really happening with this massive influx. Recap, the caravan that it was supposed to be the mother of all caravans, on this initiation of this caravanic journey, as we have been seeing, we documented 3 of them. This 4th one got disintegrated in departed Wixla around 5 o'clock in the morning by immigration officials and National Guard officials. This caravan was integrated more by women and children, and around 100 unaccompanied minors was in this caravan. Other than that, there were single men and also a really small portion of families. But the Commission International of Human Rights, the head chief of the human rights in our country of Mexico, was here to document that the children were not being separated from their family, but also to document that the children are not being used with child abuse, that we have seen that, how a man was carrying an infant in the middle of a tropical storm with only a plastic bag covering that, and we were right there broadcasting a video that has gone viral. Another video that I did was how a migrant child around 2 to 3 years old walking in the hot concrete in the hot weather with no shoes and no socks. It is just, and no t-shirt and no shirt and no pants, no nothing. Kids being, carried in the horrible weather and these horrible conditions, and being on the front line where they are trying to break a barrier by the National Guard, that they're wearing shields and their kids right here in their arms. It is child abuse in our eyes, and it is abuse of children, that they should not be put through this travesty and through this journey that is a horrific journey for them, and is traumatizing ultimately for them to see their father or an adult or their mother confront an authority and to fight an authority to just pass and to just migrate. Imagine the trauma of these children that they're suffering. It is not their fault of the irresponsibility possibly of the parent, or it is not the fault of they don't understand what their family is going through, or their suffering, or the enormous necessity that their parents have, or the adults, as they are using a lot of these childs and kids to migrate into the United States of America to cheat on a loophole and to achieve the political asylum. Apparently, the Stay in Mexico policy has been effective now. A lot of the agencies that are nonprofit organizations, they are stopping, and a lot of lawyer agencies, they're stopping the process to help or to coordinate the asylum and refugee seeking into the United States of America. And ultimately, this has hurt them in the pocket. But most importantly, the State of Mexico policy, it will profit Americans of the United States of America, but ultimately it will affect our country of Mexico. As a Mexican, I will tell you that this will create an enormous chaos as millions of people are awaiting on this side. Our Mexican president needs to do something now. It is not a time of later, tomorrow, a week after, or let me arrange it next month. He needs to do something now as an immediate urgency, as a lot of these children are being exposed to a lot of infections in the city of Tapachula. And also, not only that, a lot of child abuse. And you're creating that organizations and other organizations are creating caravans in a city that is collapsing little by little with insecurities, and also ultimately also with infections, and with a lot of necessities that they are ground, vital necessities vital necessities for people, for migrant population, or ultimately, for necessities for the people. How's everybody doing? 24 minutes into this update that I wanted to give you. First and foremost, thank you so much. Tomorrow we will be having a busy day, as we are going to be documenting, creating video, and also ultimately bringing you guys a lot of this information that I just shown you, that is the flights being flown from the United States of America into our country of Mexico. That is going to be possibly late in the afternoon, and we're going to be documenting all of that as these flights are coming consistently, as Joe Biden and the Biden administration is not saying anything about the deportations that they're doing, and they're not saying anything to the world that they are deporting unaccompanied minors and families into the nowhere in Guatemala. Also, we will bring you coverage of protests, and possibly we will go to Wixla, that is the place that they got disintegrated, and show you where the caravan got disintegrated, as we shown you a few days ago. I believe that it was last week that I was here a few days ago that I was here in Tapachula. So God bless you all. Thank you so much. We will be tomorrow giving you guys absolute full coverage of everything that is happening right here. And God bless you. Thank you so much. Buy me a coffee is on the bottom link, and also our PayPal is on the bottom link. If you guys like to contribute to our independent reporting and also to our travel fund, that is the most important thing, to our travel fund. We're showing you guys that we are, right here consistently traveling to give you guys the reality and the truth about the news, and ultimately, bring you live coverage, raw, uncut coverage of everything that is going on. Later on tonight, I will be uploading a video of clips of video of how this last caravan of 500 people got disintegrated and disarticulated by the National Guard and the Institute National of Immigration. Thank you, and thank you to all our public. Follow me at Facebook, YouTube, Instagram as Oscar Blue Media, Telegram as Oscar L Blue, and also you can follow Border Network News at Instagram, Telegram, and Facebook. And also you can follow my partner, Real Anthony Agüero, at all the platforms that exist. Stay safe. Thank you so much for all your support. God bless you all. And like we always say, people, peace and love all the way from Tapachula, Mexico, our second home. Because always, your country's first. God bless.